Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, we're making chocolate pudding. Really rich and delicious and incredibly simple to make. You're not going to want to buy that box stuff anymore. So let's get this pudding started, pudding, on Dishin with Di. You need some granulated sugar, some cornstarch, unsweetened cocoa powder, unsalted butter, semi-sweet chocolate chips, heavy cream, whole milk, egg yolks that have been lightly whisked, vanilla extract, and a little bit of salt. Now I'm going to go over to the stove and get everything started. I have a saucepan here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is add in my sugar along with the cornstarch and a little pinch of salt. I always like to put a little salt in there, just kind of bring out the flavors of everything. Now, I also have my unsweetened cocoa powder, and I'm going to add that in, but I like to sift that because there's always lumps in there, so I don't want any lumps getting into this pudding. So I'm going to make sure I sift that through. And now I'm just going to combine this, just kind of whisk it together here. And now I have my milk on medium heat. I'm just going to gradually pour this in and kind of mix this together. If you pour it in all at once, it's going to be more difficult to get it to combine. So just kind of put a little bit in there. Whisk that together. You see how it kind of smoothed out real quick? And then put the rest in. And it's best, I find, to do this with a whisk rather than a spoon at this point anyway. So get that, and then I have my heavy cream here, so I'm going to pour that in too. All the measurements and everything are on my website, dishinwithdi.com, with the directions, so don't worry about any of this stuff. You can just shoot over there after you're done watching. Okay, now whisk this together. And we're just going to stir this mixture until it comes up to a boil. Okay, now it's starting to get thick. It hasn't boiled yet, but it's starting to thicken. So it's just really important that you kind of keep stirring this as you go, because you don't want it to start to stick to the bottom or anything like that. I really like using a really good unsweetened cocoa powder for this. You'd be surprised at the difference in flavor in any of your recipes. So give it a try. Just try it one time, and then you'll never go back. Okay, the mixture has come to a boil, and it's really starting to tighten up. Just want to keep it moving and try to keep everything off the sides of the pot as well. You can see if it starts to get on the sides, it starts to form a little skin, and you don't want that to get into the pudding. So just stir this for about a minute. Okay, now I'm going to take some of this mixture and I'm going to put it into my egg and whisk that around just a little tiny bit. Okay, and this is tempering the egg. So I'm just going to put a little bit more in and whisk that through quickly, and a little bit more, and that should be good. Okay, now I'm going to get this right into my bowl here fast. Don't put it in and then let it kind of sit there, and take your time about stirring it, because, if it still could scramble in there. So you want to be careful of that. So we're just going to let this continue to cook. You see how it even thickened more? So this is going to cook for about another minute, and that's really tightening up nicely. See how beautiful that looks? I've taken it off the heat, and I'm going to add in these semi-sweet chips. Mix those through. You see, it's just melting in there. Look at that. Look how rich that's getting. Smells incredible. And then take a little bit of vanilla extract, put that in there, and then put the unsalted butter in. And that is gonna make it really creamy and silky and beautiful. So just mix that together thoroughly. Here you go, look at that. That was really quick, right? So now we have this really thick and delicious pudding here, and we're just gonna put it into these nice little serving glasses that I have. So I just have made enough here for two for me and my husband. If you notice that there are some lumps in there, or maybe the egg scrambled a little bit, like if you see anything, you can run this through a strainer, a mesh strainer, so you make sure you get any of that stuff out of there. So don't worry, you didn't mess it up if something like that happens. But you just want to take this and pour this right into your little bowls that you're going to serve it in. Now I have some plastic wrap here. You're going to take this plastic wrap and you're going to put it directly on top of your pudding. You want it to rest right on there before you put this in the fridge. And the reason that you're doing that is so that it doesn't form a skin. Nothing like pudding with a skin on it. So just get this on here. Now I'm going to pop these into my fridge, and once they get nice and chilled, I'll show you how I like to serve it. Okay, my pudding's out of the fridge, and no one bothered to tell me I had a big blob of pudding on my shirt. Obviously I was tasting it, but I was walking around with that blob of pudding and you guys were probably laughing at me. So I got it off. There's probably a stain there. So just so you know, I found out about it. Anyway, I have the pudding here, and now I have made myself some homemade whipped cream right here to top it with. I'll leave you the recipe link for this, but what you want to do is just peel this off. Let me just show you. Just peel this off carefully. You see, no skin. Look at this whipped cream. Is that unbelievable? It took me like literally about 2 minutes. Look at that. Put some of that on there. Let's pile that stuff high. That looks unbelievable, doesn't it? I'm gonna put some other things on there too when I'm done with this. But I have to give this a taste. Look at this. Look, let me get that pudding. Yum. I love chocolate. Really rich, creamy. The whipped cream really makes it. And that was like really super simple. So you'll get the link for that. And the recipe for both things and lots of other stuff is on my website, dishinwithdi.com. And don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up and like this video. I look forward to seeing you next time. And I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. Bye-bye now.